Welcome to the Hermitcraft Recap. My name is PixelRiffs, our writer is LoyXP, and while Halloween the holiday has left by now, Halloween the spirit is still very much here. And frankly, on this channel, it might stay all the way to January. Even then, you are most welcome to try and exorcise it today as we deal with the fallout of Mumbo's Spookificator, Stress's Haunted Mansion, and many other horrifying videos we'll be going over today. Just keep in mind that we're not helping much. And with that out of the way, let's take a look at all the events and mishaps that occurred on the Hermitcraft server this week. Starting with Etho, who senses there may be a gap in the market for a new minigame to get its hooks in people now decked out has come to an end. Except said hooks might kill you because you'll only have half a heart of health. Inspired by precision platformers, the puzzle-filled parkour course guarantees that any mistake will cost you a respawn, and Etho even plans to let the server's other game design aficionados expand it later.
If you're unfamiliar with those games, it's basically short levels, and then like anything you touch will kill you.
As the resident minigame guru, Tango Tech drops by to playtest. Cue the death montage.
Oh, okay.
Messed up the second jump and you fell in the water.
Oh, the easy part, the vines, okay.
Yep. And?
Okay.
You know, you enjoyed watching the Ravagers kill us. I'm gonna enjoy this for a moment.
No.
Tango's also there to crown Etho the winner of Decked Out by a substantial margin and unveil his prize, a commemorative Decked Out artifact board packed with all the uniques he could muster, his own pet Ravager, and a lifetime supply of iron. As a victory lap, Etho throws in footage from a few extra Decked Out runs with some pretty epic hauls from the black market. Another post-closure prize goes out to Hypnotized for completing the challenge of Decked Out, even if too late for it to really matter. To remedy that, Tango grants him an IOU of massive proportions. When the Caves and Cliffs update ushers in the era of Decked Out 2, Hypno can count on getting a personal bag of goodies to help him get ahead of the competition. Some last-minute Decked Out deals went down thanks to Stress Monster's Haunted Mansion minigame, which allowed players to claim artifacts from her own Decked Out board. Vintage Beef took her up on that offer, but before he actually went to comb the stressed out house for trinkets, he and Hypno met up back at the Mega Tiger they chose as the headquarters for the Podzol Party.
It looks incredible. The Podzol Party headquarters, the Podzol Party cabin, the PPC, the PPH, whatever you want to call it always starts with the PP.
If the cozy Podzol cottage wasn't enough to encourage new members, Beef jumps on the propaganda bandwagon by using Mumbo's face to advertise for them, and provides a theme song that might be familiar to anyone who lives immediately to his south.
It won't spread like the grass.
XB Crafted seems very happy to carve his own gravestone at Stressed Out, and has very nice things to say about the experience, even if the house does kill him a couple of times.
That's freaking this place is awesome. Like, seriously? This place is freaking amazing.
After montaging his way to a successful run, he meets up with an angelic zombie Cleo and asks her to add some life, or possibly death, to his apocalyptic city build. Joe Hills explores not one but two trick-or-treat minigames, and if you think that might be stretching the Halloween spirit a little thin, the look on his face says otherwise.
Well, folks, I don't know what I expected. I'm sure there's some sort of valuable lesson here.
Widening his face led to some big brain moments, making him one of the only people who walked away from Impulse and Tango's tricks alive, and helping him puzzle his way through the riddles of Stressed Out. But it can't last forever, and eventually Mumbo provides instructions for how to fix his face, which turn out more literal than he expected. At least it allows Joe to return to the winery and work on the details. With hermits filling the graves outside of the Stressed Out mansion, Stress Monster returns to declare a winner and ultimately rehome the Frankenstein's monster statue with all of his hidden shulker boxes.
So congratulations to Hypno, you are now the proud parent of Frankenstein's monster. I hope that you look after him well.
But while she's in the shopping district, the Mycelium Resistance's head of investigations finds the Turf War notice board and decides she needs to investigate the HEP headquarters. Little do they know, she's also a master of disguise.
What do I look like? I'll give you a second, go on. Look! I blend in, you see?
It seems like they might have seen something like this coming though, because the secrets are kept under lock, key, and a few dispensers of harmful splash potions. But Stress still manages to return and collect her stuff, discovering the location of Hep's secret diamond stash. And yes, we meant diamond in the singular sense. The Stressed Out Mansion is not the only Halloween activity in town, and as mentioned before, there's plenty of videos with people going through that or the trick or treat machine that surprisingly is still not out of crafting recipes.
I didn't know that was happening yet. Okay.
While the last unspookified hermits pass through the skin warping machine, Mumbo has already prepared a way to backpedal on your costume decisions. Grian and BOO take a more original route and just high-velocity headbutt each other to swap their faces back to normal.
The old switcheroo. If only he knew that I keep a B-dub's head on me at all times.
Never mind that, the one machine Keralis is laser focused on is BOO's grass race, which just demonstrates that Keralis will watch grass grow as long as there's a risk of losing his money involved. He can make it all back anyway as long as his construction company keeps up the pace. This week alone, they wheeled 2 enormous modern builds into existence, expanding the harbour town.
Look at the half house. It is incredible. It is just squeezed in.
Azuma Void in the meantime raises a city-sized contraption in the unclaimed desert that might just solve the lack of soft drinks in the biome once and for all. The enormous netherwart farm he planned last week comes to the actual server, as well as an array of perpetual brewers. These little fellas will continue producing the programmed potions as long as there are materials provided, and Azuma has some spreadsheets covering exactly how to make that happen.
This is going to add up to over like 500 blocks in width, which is way too big for this area.
Another significant follow-up from last week is Impulse SV and Grian revealing exactly how they tricked Scar and B-dubs into exploding. It turns out the fake HQ was actually the fake HQ. The two of them just redirected the water streams shown on video and swapped the names on the signs for what even Hep can tell are the actual ones. The incident prompts the sides to agree on an info exchange board where the both of them can issue fair warnings, ideas, and ransom demands to make sure that the conflict doesn't cost them too many sets of netherite gear.
We will defend our base. Oh my goodness.
Impulse was at the Guardian farm when the explosions happened, so he has plausible deniability, up until the flashback footage shows him rigging the place to blow. But with the mischief managed, he goes back to delivering XP crafted some replacement Guardians and adding a cow farm to his industrial area. Said area could really do with the storage system and a way to feed the cows though, so he rigs both up along with a villager breeder linked to his infinite carrot supply.
So this is actually working great. I'm just sending the babies right now underground. I don't really know what to do with them at this point, because now we basically have an infinite villager breeder, and this thing's just going to fill up with villagers down here.
Explosions are soon to be heard from Iskal's Treasure Island game too. Wanting to send the game off with a bang, Iskal restructures the payment system for Treasure Island 2.5 to be more of a gamble, but with the chance of getting TNT as a reward. He also seeds the island with micro treasures, the diamond blocks he won from the road building contest, stashed just below the surface. Out of everyone who reskins themselves and back for Halloween, Iskal seems the most attached to his surprise face, claiming it as a play ahead before switching back, although we suspect this is mostly to mess with Mumbo.
And turn back. See? It's bugged out.
It's trivial compared to how much Mumbo messes with himself this week, as he decides the heartbeat of his base should be heard throughout the entire structure. So he installs a system of note blocks all synced to beat in rhythm, and more irregularly as the base demands more golden apples. To be appropriately demanding, the heart needs connecting to the brain, which he does after briefly procrastinating with a round of Stressed Out.
You can hear a heartbeat. I've actually got a beaming smile on my face right now. This is so much better.
Rendog has a skeleton of his own to fill in, with his Sith temple taking shape in the Nether as a satellite structure to the main Nether hub. Time lapses abound as he builds up the structure of the temple, fighting off an army of ghasts in the process, and terraforms more of the Blackstone landscape at the Emperor's Talon in the overworld. We also get to see his perspective on the Mycelium Resistance's emergency meeting, although that might just be temporal displacement as a result of Dr. Renstein's teleportation experiments.
It's taken a bit longer than I anticipated. I'm sorry about that. I know this episode's a little bit late. I'm quite behind all of the other hermits.
Now it's the HEP's turn to defend their base. Having already repurposed the innards of the main HEP base, Cubfan is quite happy that more room for activities is available in the factory. Right away, he installs a Kaguma-style lock and a main super door to lock it with. And as if that isn't enough, within the actual factory, Cub puts together another door that will keep the unauthorized away from the organization's vault. And should they still do so, the perpetrators will be met with another door, this one block placement activated, even if it doesn't take a genius to guess what block it would be.
But if I place a grass block in here, check this out. Dun 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 dun, and the door opens.
Having distributed the keys amongst his fellow Hepsters, he inadvertently lets in Tango Tech, also quite giddy for mechanization. For one, Tango is swift to add a lava dispenser for all the people trying to get into Hep without a key. And for two, he rigs up a massive Mycelium disposal machine now that Hep came into possession of a large shipment of the stuff.
Yes! Yes! Okay, that's enough.
Lastly, Good Times with Scar does a touch-up on the general interiors of the place to make it feel nice and homely. And though it might feel that Hep's sleuth hounds have been chasing their own tail for a while, the fake HQ did provide the names of everyone involved, and there are things they know about the real one too, that it's somewhere just within the commercial district's reach, and that it's near bedrock level. Which is why the good mayor personally installs a mineshaft and goes branch mining for all of his diamonds at once, searching quadrant after quadrant and triangulating by process of elimination where the shrooms are sprouting from.
In progress, and this is an approximate on where we're at because I will not use my camera account down there because that's not fair play. We gotta get cracking on these mine shafts.
And that's pretty much it for this week's recap. Our writer is LoyXP, and my name is Pixelriffs. In the end screen theatre today, you can see me finally completing my netherite beacon project, and Zloy installing a crack-proof code lock onto his unbreakable bank vault. Don't forget to leave a like while you're still here, and subscribe so you won't miss future recaps. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.